What is the best JoJo Bizarre Adventure part?
Let's peel it back.
One, two, three.
Number one for me, gotta be part 8. There's a lot to like about this part. It takes on a thriller mystery theme similar to part 4, but does everything else better. Storyline, characters, plot, antagonists, story progression, etc. A lot to uncover, and it unfolds well with a lot of twists and obstacles to overcome. Sort of like a really big puzzle. It also has a bit of romance, but romance done right, which is so hard in anime. At number 2, Steel Ball Run, Part 7. If you've heard of JoJo Bizarre Adventure, you've definitely heard of Part 7 being one of the best, and rightfully so. Unique theme and storyline, very diverse, keeps you on board all the way through, and it's the first time a JoJo character actually has to learn their powers. So it immerses the reader. The only flaw to this part is Johnny's demeanor. Johnny was my favorite before even starting the part, but his character at first was pretty intolerable. At number 3, Golden Wind, Part 5. This one is pretty interchangeable with Part 7. It takes on a classical mafia theme, but also uses the aspect of thriller in it. Honestly, does everything right. I did wish they utilized and made the main antagonist a point of the story before introducing him towards the end, at least making frequent mention of him or what he's up to, etc., kind of like in part 3. However, this easily has some of my favorite and most likable cast of characters. Coming in at 4th place, Diamond is Unbreakable, Part 4. This one isn't far behind the other two. It's also a thriller theme where the villain is the central focus, but unmasking it is the real adventure. A great cat and mouse chase from start to finish. The only flaw, however, would be that it's more of a power of friendship part, and that's the resolve to the story. At number 5, Stone Ocean, Part 6. I really like them implementing a woman JoJo as the central focus, and a lot of the characters are great. This one is a bit more woke, but to anyone who doesn't like that, I think this might make you a bit more open to it. One of my favorite women characters in all of JoJo's in here. This part introduces a lot of new experimental concepts. With that, also a bit all over the place. Overall, it's very similar to Orange is the New Black, except they have powers. At number 6, Phantom Blood, Part 1. The very basis of the story, there isn't much to say about this, but I personally enjoyed it. Similar to Part 6, I think it's an acquired taste. People have mixed feelings on it. Very different, no powers, has a dark vampire theme, reminiscent of a Shakespeare play, or at least that's the vibe it gives. Number 7, Stardust Crusader, Part 3. This might be a shocker to a lot of JoJo fans. The introduction of stands, you really see it in its premature nature. The stands are all pretty basic concepts and powers. No cool references to song titles or such. The storyline progression is like that of a Nintendo DS game, where you do one quest, complete it, go to the next quest, which is not the reason why it's so low. This part starts off really great and with a lot to look forward to. However, few things bug me. One, being a few of the stands. This part is your derogatorily stereotypical anime trope, more promiscuous and indecent than the other parts. However, two characters that really bugged me was the ape, who spends like 8 episodes preying on the little girl. And later on, the Alessi guy whose stand is turning people into kids and then preying and harassing them. Like, what are we doing here? Aside from that, a lot of other questionable stuff, heavy plot armor, and the part in itself just being dragged out. So I'm good off Predator Crusader. And in last place, Battle Tendencies, Part 2. Possibly another shocker in the fandom. Part 2 does only one thing right, and that's the cast. Mostly the protagonists. The antagonists are all distasteful. However, it had one of the best supporting protagonist casts. Aside from that, you really need a tolerance to enjoy this. It's pretty much more of a chore watching this. So mundane, so dragged out, no real powers. Antagonists don't stimulate anything. And in case you thought it was dragged out, it's dragged out even more. This part counts for like 15 Skypiea arcs.